Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Dark Spectrum. Since the last decade or so, social media has become a staple in many people's lives, with 3.5 billion people using social media every day worldwide. While some people's social media posts are used to document their everyday life, some posts are timestamps, a lasting fingerprint of a person's thoughts or feelings conveyed through a timeless looking glass. Here is 5 social media posts with eerie backstories. Number 5. Gavin Eugene Long was a 29-year-old man that grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. His parents divorced when he was 11, and according to court's records, his father was neglectful of Long. Long served in the U.S. Marine Corps as a data network specialist and was honorably discharged with the rank of sergeant. During his military service, he was deployed to Iraq from June 2008 to January 2009. It was then Long told friends and family that he suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. In 2011, doctors contradicted him as having, quote, adjustment disorder with depressed mood, end quote. They eventually concluded that he was mentally stable with no threat to himself or others. According to Long's mother, the VA then sent him a letter denying him further treatment on the grounds that his disorder was not related to his military service. This is the last social media post before Long would go on to commit a shooting in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on July 17, 2016. Long shot 6 police officers in an ambush attack. 3 of the 6 officers died while the others were hospitalized. Long was killed by a SWAT officer during a shootout with the police at the scene. Many people believe Long's mental health and related combat experiences may have been a factor leading to the shooting. Number 4. Harling was a 15-year-old boy who was originally from Woking, Surrey, but had moved to the United Arab Emirates, or UAE, with his family. In the strict Islamic country where drinking in public is forbidden, teenagers often gather in apartments with their own supply of drinks. According to reports, Harry had attended 2 parties on March the 23rd, 2012. Harry got into an altercation with another guest at the party. A friend of Harry managed to split the pair apart, but Harry was visibly upset by this and told the friend to fuck off. That was the last time the friend seen Harry. Harry Harling's body was found laying on the grass outside the apartment block after falling 11 stories. A security guard at the residential complex said he had seen the 11th floor window partially ripped out of its frame after finding Harry's body the next morning. Little to no information is known about this case other than the fact that it was ruled a suicide. Leading to his death, Harry made this final post on social media. Number 3. What should have been a relaxing day at the movies turned out to be one of the worst mass murders in American history. James Holmes is an American mass murderer responsible for the 2012 Aurora, Colorado shooting in which he killed 12 people and injured 70 others at a Century 16 movie theater on July 20th, 2012. Police reported Holmes brought a ticket for the viewing of Batman in Theater 9. About 20 minutes into the film, he left Theater 9 through an emergency exit door beside the movie screen while propping the door slightly open with a plastic tablecloth holder. He later returned with guns he retrieved from his car, threw 2 canisters of gas, and began to fire his weapon at the moviegoers. Holmes fired a total of 76 shots. That night, an aspiring sports blogger with a bright future named Jessica Redfield was inside Theater 9. She had recently moved from San Antonio to Denver to pursue a career in sports journalism. When Holmes fired his weapon, Jessica was hit in the head. This was the last post Jessica Redfield made that night before her death. Number 2. Hannah Truelove was a 16-year-old girl from Gainesville, Georgia. According to reports, Mona Harris returned home from work and noticed her daughter wasn't home. She took a nap, and when she woke up, her daughter still hadn't returned. At this point, she began to panic. WSB-TV reported that Hannah was last seen with her friends around the apartment building at 7:30 p.m. that same day. Officers searched for Hannah in the surrounding wooded areas, but had to call off the search after a severe storm hit that day. The following day, on August 24, 2012, a man walking his dog found a body behind Lake Lanier Club apartments in a heavily wooded area. The body was later identified as Hannah Truelove. She was discovered a quarter mile from her home, directly behind her apartment complex. Results was withheld from the public by the medical examiner's office as a result of an active investigation, but they did state she had been stabbed multiple times. Many people believe Hannah's Twitter account gave some clues, but was dismissed by investigators. This was the last post Hannah made 5 days before she was murdered. Number 1. Alan Ruby is a 19-year-old man from Duncan, Oklahoma. Alan enjoyed the finer things in life, as he would often post images to social media of expensive trips, luxury watches, and cars to his Instagram page. On one of his social media pages, he called himself an up-and-comer from Oklahoma who was striving for the best life has to offer. But it would seem greed would get the better of Alan, and he would go on to commit a heinous crime of bloodlust to get whatever he wanted at all costs. On October the 9th, 2014, Alan would murder his family in cold blood with a 9mm pistol he had stolen from his father's truck. According to the affidavit, Alan shot his mom twice along with his sister, who later walked into the kitchen. He then waited for his dad to arrive home for over an hour and shot him as well. To cover up his crimes, Alan allegedly threw away the gun in the family's DVR, which was connected to the Holmes surveillance system. After the murders, Alan traveled to Dallas, stayed at a Ritz-Carlton, and attended the Texas OU game. This is a post he made while the slain bodies of his family wouldn't be discovered until the housekeeper stumbled upon the grisly scene. The Rubys were planning to cut him off financially because he could not control his spending, according to the county district attorney office. He felt like if he murdered his mother, father, and sister, he would be the only one, the only heir to their estate. Alan would be charged with 3 life sentences for the murder of his family.